Thank you everybody for being here today. We are super excited. I'm James Regan. I'm the executive director and founder of Lodestar. And I like to compare Lodestar to Apple because we started in my basement. And we got a long way to go to become Apple, obviously, but this is a big start for us. Our last office was 100 square feet. If you're going to take a tour today, which you're welcome to do afterwards, we have food and drinks upstairs, and we want to show off the space. So if you can stick around, we want to show you that we now have 2,000 square feet. So much to say, but we're going to try not to be too long. I do have my program director, Danielle Weil, here. And in just a second, we'll also have Town of Babylon Supervisor Rich Schaefer come up and say a few words. But the thing that I want to say is today is about community. There's literally probably 1,000 people that I would need to thank for where Lodestar has gotten in the 8.5 years. And I'm not going to try and do that because it's impossible and I don't want to miss people. But really, when we're talking about helping vulnerable kids and families, this work can't be done without community support. And I'm looking around and seeing so many faces that have helped in so many different ways over the years. And it's impossible to repay. And I always feel a debt of gratitude, even though you're not supporting me per se, you're supporting Lodestar and the families that we serve. I'm aware that it's a debt that I can never repay, but I at least want to say thank you today, and I appreciate all of you. So Danielle's going to tell a little anecdote about one of her experiences working for the company, but I want to just drop one piece of data that I think is really solid to hear. We just updated our records, and there's a card floating around that you might see. This one. This is woefully out of date. We updated it. We worked with 641 children to date, in mostly Suffolk County, but also emerging in Nassau, Brooklyn, and Queens. And we've done over 35 visits to homes. If you don't know what we do, we go to homes. 35,000, excuse me.
A couple more than 35. I was a little confused.
That was a really good fact check. 25,000 of those visits have come since 2021. So in just less than 4 years, we've done 25,000 home visits. The staff are wearing name tags today. We want you to find a staff member and say, please give me a tour, because they're going to be very knowledgeable about the agency and hopefully about the space. So make sure you do that if you are sticking around, and I'm hoping you came hungry. But here's the mic to Ms. Weil, who needs no introduction.
The life of somebody else. And that is our mission, to go around to the communities, work with families, work with children, and in turn working with the community to make a difference. We work with children in some of the most difficult situations, and I've seen personally working with kids myself, but also hearing about the wonderful stories that some of our providers have explained to us of the differences that they're making in the lives of these kids and helping these kids get onto a better path. So I would personally want to thank all of our workers, all of our in-home staff who deal with our children and work with our families every single day, and supervisors and coordinators and the managers who every day help develop and mentor and guide our providers in the field to make a difference.
So now I'm going to grab the scissors, but I'm also going to first ask for our board of directors and our staff to come up and stand behind us, because Danielle and I definitely don't do this alone, and we're going to cut.
Okay, so we are here for the ribbon cutting for
Lodestar Children's Services.
Very good. 3, 2, 1.
All right, I got a few more things to say, and then I promise I will stop talking. But thank you to the Farmingdale Chamber of Commerce for setting this up for us. I get petrified of missing anyone, but I want to highlight the state agencies that made a point to be here today. Really thankful that Suffolk County SPOA is here, as well as New York State Office of Mental Health. Under Sheriff Ecker, thanks for coming today. Couldn't possibly be forgetting people, but I want to say that we usually do a poor job of asking people to follow, like, and tag us on social media. But if you want to post something today about Lodestar that's really helpful to what we do, hashtag Lodestar. If you want to put something up, if you're not already following our pages, we got a great YouTube page, a great Facebook page. We're on LinkedIn, Twitter, and even TikTok. Last shout out is definitely to the town of Babylon. We have a big presentation today from the town of Babylon. We're very happy to be back in the town of Babylon because most of you know it's home for me. It's where I grew up. But the town of Babylon is far and away done more for Lodestar than probably any other entity. They've done things that they didn't have to do, and that support has been invaluable. Rich is going to come speak in a minute, but I want to highlight that we received a $50,000 ARPA grant a couple years ago. So it was a really nice shot in the arm. It was pandemic stimulus money. Lodestar, like everyone else, really struggled during the pandemic. And town of Babylon having our back. All the other towns are great too, but town of Babylon has been outstanding. So we're happy to have our premises back within the town of Babylon. Town of Babylon also has Councilman Martinez here today. And I don't want to mess up her last name, but Ashley from the Babylon Youth Bureau is here as well. Thank you for coming. Farmingdale, do you guys want to say a few words?
Sure. So on behalf of the Farmingdale Board of Directors, our entire chamber, we want to say thank you for choosing Farmingdale. You might be in the town of Babylon, but you're in the zip code of Farmingdale. There's a lot of great stuff going on here. As business people, we know it's never easy moving an office. It's never easy expanding. In fact, some mornings it's not even easy getting up and putting the key in the door. You said you have 2,000 square feet here. We know that doesn't include all the dining room tables and the late nights, while you're sitting watching TV, pretending to have, the energy for the home life, that you're also working at home, and then you're in everybody else's living rooms too. I happen to be on a school board. I know that, children's services, it's a huge need, a huge hole, and anytime an organization and people and a board of directors and the staff can step up and make that better, that's certainly something that should get celebrated. So congratulations from the Farmingdale Chamber of Commerce and all our members.
I'm going to ask Supervisor Schaefer to close us out.
Sure.
Thanks, James. Thank you. And I'm going to run of applause for James for the work that he has been doing since the days in his basement. I know a lot of his West Babylon peeps are here. Where is West Babylon? Class of 95? 95.
I think 2005.
I think that was in my 4th year as supervisor the first time. No, but it goes without saying that we're excited to have Lodestar Children's Services back here in the town of Babylon in the 11735 zip code. And of course, this center is probably one of the biggest opportunities, as you can tell, looking around you. There's so much going on, so much foot traffic coming in and out of here. And what's important is that Lodestar will be able to continue to expand as they have. As he told you, the numbers just keep on growing, and that's a good and a bad thing, because obviously we know that a lot of people are in need of important intervention, mental health services, particularly young people. That's why Ashley is here, Tom Gargiulo, who work at our Youth Institute and Youth Bureau, and they're excited about collaboration between working with Lodestar and working with the residents that come through our program at the Town Hall Annex, where they're based out of in North Babylon. And Tony Martinez, who's our Deputy Supervisor and Councilman, our Town Clerk, Jerry Compitello, myself, the rest of the members of the Town Board, Anthony Minetta, Wayne Gregory, Terry McSweeney, and Jen Montiglio, who's a West Babylon graduate. I think a couple of years
Same year.
Same year.
She looks younger than me.
95. So all of us together were really happy when James first approached us about the program, what it had to, and particularly during COVID, how important it was to continue services to make them available, and that's why we supported the $50,000 grant to Lodestar and have continued to work with them on making sure that they have everything that they need. Also, we have our New York State representative here, Assemblywoman Kimberly Jean-Pierre, who's with us. And she's been a big supporter through her role in the state legislature. Unfortunately, she's leaving us at the end of the year. You know, she looks very young, but she's retiring from the state assembly. But she's not going far. Governor Hochul's got something in mind for Kim, and that'll be coming out shortly, so she'll still be involved. But her and Senator Monica Martinez are a great team that have been working with us on making sure that Lodestar and other agencies that provide critical services can make them available. And I did want to give a shout out to Suffolk County District Attorney Ray Tierney, who's represented here by Kim Edwards, and Kim heads up the community services aspect of the DA's office. You've never heard a DA's office that offers community services. You think of them as the chief prosecutor and making sure that we're all protected from the bad guys. But you know what? Ray Tierney is a holistic approach to this, and not only does he work closely with Sheriff Toulon, but his attitude and philosophy is that we need to do things to make sure that people who are going through the system are getting the proper services that they need so that they don't go through the system again. And that's why we're lucky to have Ray and Errol as our chief law enforcement officers here. So Kim wanted to give you, I don't know if there's a check in there, but I know that she said she had a presentation. So Kim?
There's no money. Well, we can change that in the future. You're right here in our district in Farmingdale. When I first was elected 10 years ago, one of the first two committees that I was committed on was the Mental Health and Children and Families Committee. And I've seen legislation that we passed really good piece of legislation, working with people like Cheryl Williams, who's in our community, passed legislation, and I've been to many of the symposiums right here in Huntington. So I want to thank you, the entire agency, for what you do and allowing legislators like myself to create good policies so you can change the lives of families that live right here in this community and throughout New York State on Long Island. You are really in a great spot. This is one of my daughter's favorite malls because of Ulta, TJ Maxx, and my favorite spot, Home Goods, and Five Below, and after 3 o'clock, you see this mall is filled with youth, so you are in a good spot. So I'm gonna agree, Farmingdale is popping, and you're gonna grow here, and I wish you to grow further. So this is just a small token on behalf of myself, the senator, just to say thank you.
Thank you. Let me just end with this, that one of the best parts of coming here today, and Kim's a Stony Brook graduate, but I met 2 Stony Brook interns, Aiden and Elise. And what the best part was meeting both of them. Look at the smiles on their faces. They're doing their internship program here, and they're the future that's going to continue and that's the legacy that you leave, is you were once in their position, and now you're paying it forward and making sure that we've got capable people to take over. So congratulations, James, on it.
All right, so again, people with the blue name tags are staff members that are excited to tell you about Lodestar. If you don't want to take a tour, at least say hi to someone so they can tell you more about what we do. But again, there's food upstairs, there's bathrooms in the hallway, but also in our office. Obviously beverages for you. The other thing you'll see upstairs that's cool is obviously there's an airfield behind us. So we're already in love with watching planes land and take off all day. Most of us are in love with that. But thank you all for coming out and making a point to be here. I'm going to try and say hello to each and every one of you. If I don't make it to you, I apologize. But see you again in another 8.5 years. Take care.
Yes, well done.